Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. In the last part, we went through the Catfish's Mon, ended up getting the next instrument out of that, and now we're back up here. Why up here? Just southwest of, Animal Village? Well, now that we have the hook shot, we can come over here and get something. Now, you might remember a couple parts back, exactly 2 parts back, actually, we got that mermaid scale there in the top right. Over here at this mermaid statue, though, we can actually put it in. And for doing this, we can head north downstairs and get the final item in the trade quest. We've got the magnifying lens. This will reveal many things you couldn't see before. And you might be wondering, what does that mean? Well, these guys weren't here before. Yes, now that we can have that, certain enemies and characters that weren't on screen before now will show up. You might be wondering, why do you want that? It sounds kind of bad at times. Don't worry, that's one of the only times they pull it with enemies. As I'll show here now, back in Animal Village. We want to head into the very northeastern house, if I can remember which house that was for a second. And Link is automatically pathed to come over here.
Hey, you can see me? You must have a magnifying glass. I'm not a troublemaker, I just want to live in peace.
Hi there, it's me, the photographer. You say Zora's in the house? I have to take a picture of that. I'll call it I Found Zora. Link doesn't look very happy about that. Let's talk to him again.
If you keep me a secret, I'll tell you something useful. Go to Taranbo Shores, use the magnifying glass, and you'll find someone like me.
I'll keep that in mind. Though for now, we actually, you might have noticed when we were, well, first off, hi Marin. You may have noticed several times by now when I was in Animal Village, on the very, very northeastern part of it, there is a bombable wall. Now that we have the hook shot, we can actually do what we have to do in there in order to do the thing that we have to do in there. That was a very redundant sentence. Alrighty. So let's get our bombs and get in there. Also, you may have noticed I'm very specific about my inventory in these Zelda games. I like to have the items in the order in which I obtain them. Now, there's 2 ways you can go about doing what you have to do in here. You might notice at the very top of the screen, there's that one purple rock. Next to that is a bumpable wall, which you can use to get to the thing, but I'm going to take the way you're supposed to do it. You see, you might notice there's also a bombable thing over there. What you would do in the other case is just walk around and bomb that wall. However, there's a bit of a thing in this game known as bomb arrows. If you press the button, if you map both the arrows and bombs to your weapons, or items rather, and then press the A and B button simultaneously, you'll shoot a bomb arrow, which explodes upon contact. And that allows us to get piece of art number 10. And the method of which, the second method is just to bomb the wall that's right below us, head up beyond that barrier, behind that barrier rather, and just throw a bomb at the block. I like the bomb arrows better. Also, I shield for the bomb, but I think that only actually works in the N64 games. And now we're way back here at Sale's House of Bananas, where we got the banana item for the trade quest. Wouldn't you know it? The end of the trade quest, technically, is right here. The ultimate reward for doing it. A Garaya that's not here otherwise. Let's talk to him, but get something on your B button, preferably the shovel. I found a good item washed up on the beach. I'll trade it for you for what you have on your B button. Okay. We've got the boomerang in exchange for the item we had. Huh, that's kind of underwhelming, isn't it? No, it's not actually. Wanna know why? The boomerang murders everything. It does, I think, the most damage out of any item in the game. You can also fetch stuff for you, and once you know it has great range, so pretty much it's the best weapon ever. Hence why I'm not going to be using it too much. I will be mentioning one specific use of it later on, but for right now I just have it so I can have it. But if you want the shovel, obviously you're going to need to go back and trade it back. Don't worry though, you never permanently lose out on the item you give the guy or the boomerang itself. Either way, now we want to head south of here for the signpost maze. The signpost maze is a bit of an interesting area. I believe it's eventually mandatory, but I'm just going to do it now. What we have to do is read the signs. Go this way. Follow that arrow exactly. Don't be from where you read the arrow. You have to go directly in the direction of the arrow from the sign's location. So with this one right here, go this way. Get on the line of tiles that the sign is on. Then go to the sign in that direction. So now I have to head to that sign with the bush in front of it. It's kind of simple, but you can only do it at this point. Why? Because of that sign right there. You can only get to that sign if you have the hook shot. Therefore, you need to have at least completed Catfish's Mall, or at least have gone in and gotten the hook shot, but if you're in there for the hook shot, you might as well complete the dungeon anyway. And then, you know, leave. That's the only thing that's holding you up here. And you know what's really funny? That's not even the way I would figure most designers would do that. In my eyes, the way I would do that is that I make most of the puzzle possible, except for like the last 2 steps, without a certain item. That might seem dickish, and honestly, it really is. But let's be honest, trolling gamers is fun at times. You do need to read the signs in their order, though. You cannot skip forward to the reward, because the reward doesn't show up until you've read every single sign. So, yeah, you need to do this in order. If you read a sign out of order, it just says, like, boo-hoo, you failed, start over. More or less. That's not exact wording, but yeah. But even though you... Oh, God, that was close. Either way, we've done it! Our reward is that away. Let's see what we got down here. What? I haven't seen you since Mario 2 USA, which I still have to do for the channel, actually, I just realized. I also have to do Super Mario Brothers. But how you been, man? You look pretty good. Ribbit, I'm Mamu on vocals. But I don't need to tell you that, do I? Everyone knows me. Wanna hang out and listen to us jam? For 300 rupees, we'll let you listen to a previous unreleased cut. What do? Sure, why not? Thank you very much. We've learned the Frog Song of Soul. It's a very moving tune. It can even liven up non-living things. If you play this song, you'll make everything around you feel more alive. You need this to progress, by the way, eventually. Also, you may have seen it, but there was actually some flashing going on with the spotlights around them. Bit of a behind-the-scenes thing with my editing. I don't remember doing it on the original Game Boy or the actual cartridge. But for some reason, when I recorded it, that entire scene flashed more than a rave. So, just so I didn't have to hurt your eyes, I actually took one of the black frames and pasted it over most of the things except for their moving. So yeah, I just saved you guys from not only severe eye strain, but also possible seizures. Though, mind you, if you're playing video games, you probably have seen those seizure warnings several times by now. Either way, now we want to head up here north of the animal village, and oh, hey, how you been?
Oh, there are 2 shrines. One to the north, the other to the south. First head south, where ancient ruins speak of the windfish. You'll learn much there.
I don't see why that's necessary, but okay. I sounded weirdly Canadian stereotype there. Huh. Either way, we do want to head south first because, well, the dungeon is to the north, the actual 6th dungeon. However, there's a keyhole that we don't have the key for yet, so might as well head south. I do want to talk to this guy. The windfish slumbers long, the hero's life gone. That's not even a rhyme, man. What the hell is that about? Either way, over here we get some interesting enemies. I remember these guys. Armo statues. They work like they did in previous Zelda games and ones I've also recorded. Rub up against them, they will likely come alive. Though, the interesting thing about them is that they're one of the few enemies that the boomerang does not one-shot. The arrows one-shot them, but the boomerang two-shots, so that's a really interesting little factoid there. I wonder why that is. I think they even lampshade that by almost always dropping arrows. I'm just going to ignore the piece of power music because... Gah. Now, on this screen, you have to head west for progress, but I want to head east for a little bonus thing I want to show off. Now, you can just barely see it behind the one on the bottom right, but the floor looks a bit different behind him. Check it out. A staircase leading to 20 rupees, which, if you didn't get the level 2 sword or didn't get any seashells maxed up, would be secret seashell number 21. Every secret seashell that you didn't get before getting the level 2 sword is now 20 rupees. I'll be still pointing them out as we go, though. Anyway, you could actually just barely see the shrine there, I believe, so now we want to head north. As soon as I get this Armos out to my face. And let's check out the Southern Face Shrine, which has a track I absolutely love. It is a very slow and haunting remix of the Ballad of the Windfish, and I love it. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of, not really emotion, but power behind this song. What the Armos Knight from Link to the Past? Huh. This guy's not too hard. He's pretty much the same boss he was back then. 6 shots with the level 2 sword or 12 arrows. Those are the only 2 ways you can kill him as far as I'm aware. I choose the sword because it's slightly faster. Also, it's creepy. Those eyes are staring right into my soul. And wow, a key. We've got the face key. Let's head north. Ah, great, it's dark. Huh? There's a picture carved on the wall, but you can't see it because it's too dark in here. Now let's light the place up. And try again. Whoa. To the finder, the Isle of Koholint is but an illusion. Human, monster, sea, sky. A scene on the lid of a sleeper's eye. Awake the dreamer, and Koholint will vanish, much like a bubble on a needle. Castaway, you should know the truth. What? Illusion? Huh. Interesting. Well, let's try and move on. Whoa, hey there, Al. How are you doing?
Good, I see you have read the relief. While it does say the island is but a dream of the windfish, no one is really sure, just as you cannot know if a chest holds treasure until you open it. So you cannot tell this is a dream until you awaken. The only one who knows for sure is the windfish. Trust your feelings. Someday you will know for sure.
Well, thank you, Owl, who I actually do recall is based off, or no, the basis of Kepora Gebora, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But still, that's interesting. A possible dream. Huh. Either way, moving on, let's head towards the next dungeon. I do believe we've actually had the dungeon on screen before, back when I showed off the river rapids thing on the northeastern part of the map. I can't quite recall, though, because that was a good, what, 4 videos ago? And my short-term memory is not what it used to be when it comes to recordings. Either way, we want to head up there. Something I don't quite remember how to do. In fact, that right there was me looking at my notes, trying to remember, like, where do I go now? Which happens a lot more than I'd like to admit with some games, actually. Back when I did Crystallis, good lord, my notes were everywhere in that game. Doesn't help that that game has a lot of grinding. Gah. No, I always found it very odd that, for the most part, Zelda games in their overworlds have a larger variety of tracks than this game. Because towns aside, there's only 2 themes, I think, as far as I can recall, for the overworld. This theme and the Mount Tamaran Tall Heights theme. Which is kind of odd, because even Ocarina of Time had like 6 different area themes, plus. And that's one of the few times I'll actually give Ocarina of Time's soundtrack credit for being anything but atmospheric. Because honestly, aside from Hyrule Field's theme, there's not much really catchy aside from the Ocarina stuff as well. And I just offended probably like half the Zelda fan base. Oh well. Either way, put the key in the keyhole, and Northern Face Shrine, the actual dungeon, shows itself. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 12, we'll be checking out the Northern Face Shrine. See you guys then!